Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Atlaran Adventuring Company. I am your Dungeon Master, Taiylor Wallace, and joining me, I have Astrid Knight.
Hello, you can find me basically everywhere at Astrid K Writes or my website astridknight.com. I wrote a book. It's called Perception Check. Do you like D&D? Do you like depression? Do you like PTSD or have it? So yeah, that would be a good book for you to read because it's about all those things, but like in a not not sad way. I guess. It's in a way where you would want to read about it.
Ash, you
Okay.
need to write a pitch and
No,
only say that.
I refuse.
Wow. Because I've read that book. It's fucking wonderful. It's like a
Thank
joy.
you.
It is not that sad. Like, there's moments,
Yeah.
but goddamn, you make
I
it
get a
sound
lot of
like it's another
reviews.
Jonathan's letter.
I get a lot of reviews that are like, I came here for, well, it's not really that. There's just been a lot of people who have been like, yeah, check the trigger warnings because I did not expect a lot of the
Okay.
stuff on there. I'm just like, yeah, man, that's why they're that.
Anyway, we also have Blake Wolfe.
Hi, I'm Blake Wolfe. You can find me at blakerwolf.com. I write werewolf smut. That's all you need to know.
That's pretty joyful.
hmm
We also have
Yep.
Zach Gale.
Hey everybody, I write scary stuff and it's getting to be that time of the year and I
Spooky,
hear
scary
something trying to
skeleton.
break out of a coffin. It's my book.
Where was the music? It's like,
Yeah.
It's my book. This
Ow.
is this is the bit. Coop
oh
puts it
my
up
God.
anyway, but this is the bit. Yeah,
Okay.
it's some empty houses might really be haunted. It's full of spooky scaries and 'tis the season. The best season. That's it for me.
Neat.
Wow.
That might be my favorite one so far. We also have our, like me, long-suffering former stream master, now producer, Zach Koop.
It's been 31 years at this point of suffering. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, I
And
know.
yeah, you
Not
can
all of those were
find
streamed.
me here at Zachary Coop. If you want to go to the elephant graveyard, that is Twitter these days.
Don't
Just
insult elephants
yeah,
like that.
don't.
Lion
I
King
do
already
this.
did.
This is what I do. I made all of this, and then yeah, that's what I do. Taiylor, how about you? What do you do?
I don't know, Titan's screaming at me. Um, Yeah, hi. As I mentioned, my name is Taiylor Wallace, Dungeon Master and editor at one point or another for the illustrious authors here. You can find me at Taiylor Wallace on X, I guess it's called now. Make sure you
No.
misspell that with an IY.
Bye bye.
Am I?
Oh my God, Titan. Um,
Titan had to get his own IY in.
Yep.
My why?
Anyway, you can find all our links on the link tree on screen or in the descriptions wherever you're watching. You could also check out The Wayward and the Wanderer, which is our first book
Oh
in a
yeah.
series about our first campaign.
Yay.
And if you like our stream and you want to support us, check out the Redbubble link on Linktree as well. Now, let's go to it, Lauren.
God.
Last time, you guys went back to the Abbey and found a secret door down in the library, having suspected one was there after the Order Master disappeared. You didn't just invade the space, though. You actually went and talked to the Order Master and the Abbess about it. And the Order Master, whose name is Kedwin Highware.
Yes.
He decided to show you guys an area known as the Abbey Warrens. While you guys were looking around, you saw the Stone Guardians that you saw wandering the city. And Kedwin told you that they were inhabited by the spirits of cowards and basically people who betrayed the order. This is their punishment for their crimes. He also told you that he was starting to believe that there was more than one source of disappearances. He believes whatever's happening in the forest and whatever's happening from the volcano are two separate things. You guys saw what is essentially a control disk for all the mosaics in town that allow Kedwin to actually look into each district. You got a hold of one of the green lanterns to borrow. And you guys decided that you're going to head out to the forest to investigate whatever's going on out there. Along the way, you found out that the possible cause of the start of the disappearances was the appearance of an earthblood fountain following the shifting of ley lines. A very major shift changed the location of Ansu's leyline crossroads, which hasn't happened in a very, very long time. If you guys remember all the standing stone circles that were down in Frosthold, they're built there because the leyline crossroads don't move. But now that they have to either move the stone circle or do something else. Let us begin. I believe you guys were just leaving the Abbey through the chapel. You came out in the Carillon Tower, where some of the Stone Guardians were being held.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Kedwin has shown you the way out. You got your lantern, you got some more information. You have Captain Pendry's, his mental description. Todd has his mental description of some shit that went down in the forest once. So what would you like to do?
Had we decided to go to the forest or the mountain? Well, volcano.
The volcano is a ways away.
It's fair ways, yeah.
It would take like the day, so I think we had said that we were gonna go check out the forest if the spellcasters are good with it.
I'm good. I think I have all my spell slots. I have a few spell slots that I used, but
I have most of mine. All but one.
I have used up all my third level and almost all my second.
oh damn.
And I've used up half of my sorcery points.
Yeah, same.
I mean, do we want to wait the day then, or?
It is about noon, so the day is half over.
If you're a quitter.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I mean,
For
we can
normal
go. That's
people,
fine. I
Damian.
love killing characters.
Oh my god.
I mean, Taylor
Like,
has
for
predicted.
exactly 7 episodes.
Taylor has predicted that Preston will not make it to level 10. So
The way I've been rolling HP, Todd isn't going to make it that far either. So
Yeah, but you have a lucky chicken.
Okay.
yeah, but will I remember to use the luck points? Is the thing.
I mean, you have a
Fair.
couple times. But yeah, what are you guys doing?
Let's
Up
go
to
to the
y'all.
woods.
Okay.
Into the woods.
into the woods.
Okay. So in that case, you guys have a map of Oskory up in Roll20 for you. The place where Captain and Pendry saw the shit that he saw was up in the Lanahasee Copse. Whereas
Those damn Lanahasee Copse.
it's named after a river in Red Dead.
I'm just messing with
And
you.
then
I
you
always
would have
called it
gotten...
Copes, but
These woods
I
are full of
guess-
pigs.
No, it's a copse. What?
They're just oinking all over the place.
Yep.
Or
Asking to see
there
your license for no
is-
reason.
Eating donuts.
Or there is the Dorman Woods, named after Shadow of the Colossus. which are more old growth. So which section do you want?
Which way is the mountain? Is it
Uh,
more further north or the south?
Mount Edwin is north of town.
So maybe we could go to the Copse.
Well, isn't that
Sorry.
where that's where the lanterns are though, right? Is Lanahasee?
They're on both sides.
They're in both of them.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
think we should go to the Lanahasee Copse. I can't say that word now.
Sorry.
Here's basically the differences. The Dorman Woods is more old growth forest. The Lanahasee Copse is more like second growth. Also, the beacons go out further into the Lanahasee, but that means you have to travel further to get to the edge, like where shit actually happens. And the Lanahasee Copse also has the addition of being closer to the mountain a little bit. So
we have a lantern. What we could do is we could go to Lanahasee and try to investigate during the day, sleep there during the night, because that sounds like a really good idea.
Thinking.
And then make our way to the volcano after a long rest.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe we'll survive.
I like it. I like the idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look, they didn't attack us before, so why would they attack us now? I still think
Fucking
there's
Christ.
that feels like a
something weird
gambler's
with
fallacy.
us.
Kind
I
of
slept
thing.
on the
Yes.
roof. I'm invulnerable.
That is exactly what it is.
I did
No, but
also
I'm
sleep
saying-
out in the air, but like
I'm not saying this as like an arrogant person. I'm saying this as like
an arrogant person.
like to be like everyone in our
Clearly have
camp
plot
died.
armor.
No, I'm saying this is everyone in our camp died except us, and then fucking Chicken Man over here sleeps up on the roof, and
So-
also doesn't get bothered.
All I
It's
can
I
do
love
is
this
ask.
idea
Pattern.
that Ezra not only smokes and drinks constantly, but has main character syndrome and thinks that they cannot be touched.
Yeah,
I love
This
it.
is also not Ezra. This is me
I love it.
talking.
I'm the protagonist. You can't kill me.
No!
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, I'm not doing that. That's not what it is. It's fucking just like there's a pattern clearly.
I
I
do
like
think
that.
You know we know that. We're just fucking with you.
Yeah, we're just fucking with you.
Yeah, and it's not nice, and you guys
It's
are
not
mean.
nice.
we also
It's
do
not nice,
know
and my feelings are hurt.
that while we may have something protecting us against the flying creatures, whatever this creepy fae thing is that's in the woods, we don't necessarily
true.
know if we're protected from that. But
That's true.
that's okay.
But-
We'll be there to protect
We'll
ourselves.
take shifts. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
take shifts.
Exactly.
You know, do the whole D&D thing.
We'll play D&D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know.
perfect.
Damian
do that
grabs
now?
his 5th edition set of Dungeons and Dragons, packs it away with enough dice sets for everyone. He has like a small little like folding table that's
Okay,
like a
Ezra, so you're playing a dragonborn, right? You guys head out of the Black Abbey, I assume. And head toward the Lanahasee Copse.
Fucking cops.
Do you guys want to just round the city walls and go north, or do you want to enter at a specific point?
Let's go around the shitty walls.
Okay, cool. And then
I'm glad Harris picked that up. Thank you.
do you want to leave the beacon circle?
Part of me feels like we have to.
so
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
The only thing I
Danger.
will say is that last time we had mentioned that we wanted to stop by the inn, so going through town instead to actually get the stuff that we would need to bring with us, and also let the innkeeper know, like, hey, if we're not back, no big deal, but we're still going to try to be back by the end of our 5 days.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So we probably
everybody
would
good with
go
that?
through instead.
very good.
If we
Cool.
never come back, just assume we're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in that case, you guys pass through the city back to Maka, and you grab shit. You leave a note with the innkeeper, who's very afraid of Damian. And you head up through Lyweir and head out into the forest. There is a little bit of outer village to the north. It's mostly just extra houses and a couple like storage sites for the harbor. But once you get out there,
Ew, why are these extra houses out here? It's disgusting.
gross. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
Poor
we're out
people,
here with
gross.
the pores.
Who lives outside of the city limits? Gross.
Barns mostly.
Barns, see?
But yeah, you guys head into the Lanahasee
point.
and up toward the closest, easiest road toward the edge of the beacons, which would be up here in the far, like, northeast. But on your way out, the outer village, which is technically part of Shields, you see mostly like farmhouses, barns, a couple warehouses.
Poor people.
There are like some livestock pens out here which are currently empty. And you've noticed that several of these buildings, Damian, you had asked this before, are there any abandoned buildings in Oskory? This is where they are. Yeah, quite a few of them are completely abandoned. Only the ones closest to the walls seem to have residents. And there's just like a severe lack of anything happening out here. And it looks like it's been that way for a good long time. The Lanahasee Copse is at least this part of the forest here. You can tell was hand planted in rows at one point and has since grown kind of wild. But the further out you go, the more uneven the trees get as you come to the end of what used to be clear cut and was then reforested. At the edge of the beacons, you pass between a couple of them. You finally get a good look at some of these older beacons that exist on the edge. They are ancient stone brick towers, like that kind of get a little thinner as they get to the top, and then they have the crenellations and like a lip on them. And you can see the big electric light sitting up at the top in a glass dome that has like a little sort of shield over it to keep it safe from any inclement weather. Once you get into the wild part of the forest, in amongst the brush and ferns and all that, the canopy sort of closes over you. Now, is there any specific, like, heading you have? Do you want to follow the coast? Do you want to head, like, in the direction of the mountain? Or do you just want to wander till you find something?
So, here's the conundrum that I've thought of, is following the coast would be safest, because we run the risk of getting the least lost. The problem is that being safe is probably not going to get us any answers.
Honestly, I feel like we would need to go like right in here.
That's within the beacon circle.
That's within the beacons.
It is, but we can head out further this way. It's just this part starts to get more remote compared to right here.
I mean,
faster.
anything north of the city, even along the coast, is going to get really, really remote. It's just we have the edge of the map to worry about.
I think that we need to get lost.
Agreed.
I think that that's
Man.
what needs to
Yeah.
happen for us to find the weird shit. We have to get lost.
Yeah.
I knew I should have taken keen mind.
But then we couldn't get lost.
Yeah,
Right.
if somebody had keen mind or somebody was an outlander, you'd never get lost.
Taiylor.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it actually is a little bit weird that Damian doesn't have keen mind, but that's okay. We can take feats later. while we're going along, if we are gonna then go like into the woods, I want to keep an eye out for any like local plants that Damian would recognize can be used in the manufacture of either medicine or poison.
Oh boy. Okay.
And this is the story of how we all died.
Although I'm doing a quick Google search, because if I get it wrong, Ben will correct me, and I don't
That's
want
true.
him to.
Just make
That
Ben
is
look
true.
it up.
You could just ask me.
Yeah. Ben, we're in
okay.
California. What can be used to kill things?
What?
California?
You're in
California.
you're in like the Pacific Northwest.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
So
They've
Northern
got
California.
Pretty much everything that we
Or
have.
like Washington.
They've got pretty much
Um,
everything that we have, just a wetter climate and probably, I don't know, a larger variety of poisonous things.
Big
Yeah.
trees.
we won't get into the details here.
What are you looking for? Is this like things to eat or things to make medicine?
Things to make medicine or poison.
Poison? You're probably not going to find anything that'll make like just straight up poison. There's lots of things that are toxic or neurological or stuff like that, but not something that's just going to straight up kill somebody.
Oh, that's fun. Neurological?
Yeah, most toxins are neurological.
Expound on that, please.
Trying to think of one. Like a lot of the stuff that Noah used in the last campaign, like aconite or belladonna or things like that, are neurological toxins. So they'll
Yeah.
start to make you hallucinate and break down, and your brain will stop doing involuntary functions correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, your brain shuts off, so you stop breathing.
So
And
Well,
heart
your heart
beating.
stops beating.
Yeah.
or
So I think-
something.
I would probably be keeping an eye out, if in this area, I'd probably be keeping an eye out for something like belladonna then.
Ooh.
Okay.
We're going on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
The trippiest trip I've ever
Yeah.
tripped.
Go ahead and make me a nature check.
11.
11. You know what belladonna looks like. It might not be the most, common plant to see, but you know it well enough because you've had to work with or at least understand
Mhm.
poisons and such before. So I would say, yeah, once you're outside of the beacon ring and like kind of wandering at this point and you're not near any roads, you do start to find belladonna here and there.
Okay. I
There's
Some shady spots.
I just googled it. Belladonna actually grows out there. So does like poison hemlock and giant hogweed and oleander. Like you can do lots of
Oleander's
Oh,
my
sweet.
fucking favorite.
Oh, Oleander.
Or datura.
Oli, oli, ol.
Can you
I'll
imagine
just,
using giant hogweed staff to like hit people and it doesn't hurt until they go in the sun and then suddenly they're just like covered in blisters? Terrible.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I'll become a vampire.
But yeah. Yeah, you can find a little cluster of belladonna and grab some if you would like.
Okay. I would actually probably keep an eye out for oleander as well if that grows here.
I would say with that nature tech, oleander has a very specific flower that you can spot. So yeah, you'd
Very
be able
pink.
to find that.
Okay.
It's one of those, pretty but horribly dangerous plants.
I'm gonna be the Noah this time.
That's fine. I need a Noah. It's just that we'll have to have a 3-person discussion now instead of
Oh,
2.
sorry.
No, I'm glad you're a plant expert, Ben.
You find a pumpkin.
Pumpkins.
That's it.
Don't eat the seeds, they'll grow in your tummy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I take extra care handling the oleander because I know that can be dangerous to even just be around. But I pull out a kit where I can safely store stuff like this.
Okay.
And start holding on to it.
I pull out a kit, and it's just an old man. He's like, "What am I doing here?"
You pull out a kit. God damn it, Kenna.
Not again.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you?
I feel like would
Yeah, you're like
Kit
800,
Who am I?
900
Kit's
now.
lived
Who am
long
I?
enough that he's just become the Deadpool of Atlaran, where he's aware it's a campaign, so he shows up and he's like, "Damn it, is it campaign 3 already?"
Ah,
Fuck. Somebody give me a. Roll me a d20.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh.
Get this train of Chuglin. Let's do it.
18.
Chuglin.
Yeah, it's a Creedence Clearwater Revival lyric.
Oh.
And I'm sorry, what'd you say you had, Harris?
18.
18. Cool. Yeah, so you guys get a ways north of town. There are a couple roads that go through the Lanahasee Copse that sort of bend off around the mountains. So once you guys get a good distance away from any of those and any hunting trails, because people do still venture outside the ring, but only during the day, you are somewhere between this like northern joined road and the coastal road, but at Damian's suggestion, you do kind of start to get a little lost. Like, as long as you know which direction north is, you're certain you can make your way back to a road because they cross all around you. But yeah, you're good and mixed up in the Lanahasee Copse north of town. Is there anything anyone is doing to like help with the search? Is there anything that you're keeping a particular eye out for?
Lampposts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're okay. So you're
I've got an
specifically
interesting
looking for
perspective
lampposts.
because I'm 18 inches tall.
Yeah.
That is true. That
You
is
look
true.
out
You've-
for little fey gremlins.
Todd is much more aware of the local flora than everybody else.
Hmm.
Yes. You find a couple ram's head mushrooms. It's good.
Yay!
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
But
I
as
would like
it's-
to do while we're walking. I don't know if that'll work very well because it's more of a combat thing. No, never mind.
Do you want to like have something prepared or what's going on?
No, so I was gonna try and do Eyes of the Grave.
Mm.
So, but it's until the end of my next turn or whatever, so it'd only be like 6 seconds long, and I don't really want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you like keeping an eye out for something that could be used for or
Yeah, like, because it says that you can know the location of any undead within 60 feet, so I was like, oh, if I could keep it up for, like, you know, while we're going, then I would be able to be like, oh, there's things hiding out. in
make me a
their woods.
perception check just to go with you through the woods.
Okay. 18.
Okay. Going through these woods, it's not super dense here, not as dense as the Dorman woods. You've seen, like, occasionally you'll run across some animal bones, which is pretty normal. And at one point you guys do come across, like, an abandoned pack, like, with just some basic, like, old rotted supplies, where you don't have an inkling that anything is out of place yet, but you're on the lookout for it. I'll keep it in mind.
Taiylor, I think Damian, a lamppost, I think in these woods is something where like he would be looking for that, but I think Damian is more actively looking for or trying to sense like, does there come a point while we're in these woods where we're being followed? That's what he's thinking right now. Is the lamppost is one thing, but I know there's something out here in these woods, so he's waiting for we're lost enough. Is something following us and trying to figure out when that is.
for this, everybody except Ash, go ahead and make me a perception check as well.
Fuck. Ooh, wait.
11.
Taiylor, would I be able to do this trying to smell something unusual in the area?
Sure.
I was about to have.
Lift up your little elephant.
I was literally about to have Damian recommend to Preston that he try to keep a nose out for the like coppery smell.
I got an 11.
I got an 18.
18s and 11s all around.
Yeah.
Okay, so that puts us at like
Man, with
average 14 -ish?
with our perception, we're all assholes and elbows today, apparently.
14's not bad.
No.
But yeah, as you guys are going, and Preston is keeping a nose out for that oh so familiar possible scent of blood. When you left the Black Abbey, it was probably 10, 11 a.m. And after picking up all your stuff and getting out here, it's probably hovering around 2 p.m. So you have quite a few hours of daylight left since it's summer. But as you're going around and just literally wandering, I think Damian will be the first to realize that even under the canopy, it's a little dimmer than broad daylight, of course. But you'll be the first to notice that after it only feels like an hour in the woods to you, it starts getting dimmer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's some fey shit.
And I love that everybody assumes it's fey shit. Anytime there's timey-wimey shit, it's the fae. But yeah, you get a glance up after a while through the canopy when you come to like a little like mini clearing that the sky is getting darker. It looks like it's 8 p.m.
Our theories about time operating a little differently out here seem to be coming true.
Seems like it.
And occasionally, as you look up through this little break in the canopy, you see a light swing over, starting as it gets to about twilight.
The beacon.
Not the beacon, lighthouse.
The lighthouse?
Great.
Oh,
Yeah, the
damn,
beacons
that
are
thing's got some
static.
distance.
It's a lighthouse.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's supposed to be seen from literally everywhere. But yeah, the Liware Lighthouse is still visible from the other side of the strait, so it's got some power. But you guys are standing in this like little bitty clearing that it just looks like there used to be, like you can see like a broken trunk here and a log like laying further in the woods. It looks like this giant tree used to just dominate this space. Now that it's fallen over, smaller things are starting to grow where it once covered. You're all looking up, and at one point, let's see who notices. Todd. You guys are all looking up. Todd, you at some point get bored of looking up because you're like, ooh, cool sky. And you turn, and next to that big broken stump, there is an iron post standing up and curling over with a lantern hanging from it that shifts color that was not there before.
I cluck loudly, "Peacock," and point. Look, lantern, creepy things.
I immediately look at everything except the lantern.
Make me a new perception check.
Yeah. It's okay. 19.
Okay. Yeah, remembering what Todd described, you look everywhere, and especially behind the lantern. And it's just still, quiet twilight forest.
As soon as I see it, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Detect Good and Evil.
Damian,
That's me.
you notice something after a moment of staring around thinking there's
Oh,
nothing.
God.
It's almost imperceptible, but you're a man trained to notice the smallest details, because if you don't, you die. You notice that there's like a little fog rolling in. It's maybe like a foot high at worst. And it's not very thick. It's just sort of billowing in from the forest around you guys.
I will continually cast Prestidigitation around us to create small puffs of wind to keep the fog away.
Yeah. Everyone get back to back.
Flapping my wings, like, no.
Do I
No.
get anything with Detect Good and Evil?
Detect Good and Evil, what does that tell you about?
I know if there's
Good
an
and evil.
aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet. Also, if there's a place within 30 feet that's been magically consecrated or desecrated.
So you cast that. You got that concentration of 7 minutes. Okay. Turn it on, and you're like, the lantern doesn't ping. It doesn't fall into any of these categories, and you don't notice anything else around you. But the lantern strikes you as strange because it feels like a dead zone. Like your spell like hits it and goes around it.
Well, that's a little weird, I say out loud. I got some feelers up, and it's not hitting the lantern at all.
Is this one of the green lanterns, or is this just like a regular lantern?
This is, so imagine Spirited Away in Swamp Bottom. Imagine that lantern without a weird hand at the bottom of it. It's that kind of lantern, and the color inside of it shifts in like, like an RGB keyboard. Just keeps shifting through color.
Cool.
Question.
Yeah.
We've determined that touch spells, you can cast those on yourself, right?
Well, it depends on what the description says.
If it says a creature you can see, no. If
It
the
says-
range of the spell is touch, yes.
Yeah, the range is touch, and it's one willing creature you touch.
There you go.
Yeah, you can be one of those willing creatures.
Okay. So I'm going to expend another sorcery point, and I'm going to twin a spell. I am going to twin protection from evil and good.
Okay.
And I'm going to get myself, and I'm going to get... Fuck, do I want to get Damian or Todd?
Invincible.
Because of the destructive power that Todd has shown, I'm going to get Todd.
Does protection from evil and good, that imposes disadvantage, right? But does it end when that creature attacks or casts a spell?
So,
Or is that sanctuary?
It's up to 10 minutes.
Protection grants several benefits. Creatures of the type of aberration, celestial, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target can also not be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. And if they're
That's the
already
scary
charmed,
part.
frightened, or possessed,
Todd.
then the target gets advantage on the next saving throw. Once I do this, I'm going to say, I'm gonna check out the lantern.
I'll go with you.
I feel like we all just like scoot slowly towards it.
Yeah, just the four of us, like Scooby-Doo style, right next to each
Yeah.
other. We just move as one unit. Yeah.
And I want to do an Arcana check on the lantern because it's very obviously magical in
Okay.
some way.
Yeah, go for it.
17.
Okay. Yeah, getting up closer to it, like within a couple feet, you can see that the lantern itself, if you weren't aware that it was so clearly magical, the lantern itself is very plain. The post it sits on seems to be just like wrought iron. It's twisted in a couple places to give it like decoration. The lantern itself is very like a Narnia style lantern on a loop instead of on the top of the post. You can tell that the actual like segments of like glass in the lantern, the glass has a slight greenish tint that gets overwhelmed when another color comes through it. The first thing you realize is that there is residuum glass in this lantern. Inside of the actual lantern, you look at the sort of light effect, and it reminds you of the spell Dancing Lights. Just the way that these like little orbs of light move inside. And you're not sure if this is like an appearance of dancing lights, like maybe it's been put inside of a lantern specifically. But knowing that Ezra has a dead zone around this lantern, like it is resisting being identified, how much, I shouldn't say how much does he know, how much does Preston care about things like other realms? Like, has it, other than the obvious one, how much has he like cared about other realms? Do you think that's been like part of his studies? Is the Feywild or the Shadowfell interesting to him?
I would say yes, they are definitely of interest to him because I mean they all go toward the great cosmic order of things. Like they're all important in the way that everything is supposed to work.
Okay. That's funny you say that. That actually makes this kind of interesting. Looking at this thing, this should not manifest like this. This is weird. This is an amalgamation of a bunch of different magics that you're not how someone achieved it, but one thing you become certain of very quickly is yes, this is Fey. There's an interesting thing about the Feywild, since you mentioned like cosmic order, and I know the things Preston is interested in. The Feywild is such fucking chaos. And just looking at this thing kind of makes you uncomfortable. Because you don't know what it does, you don't know what it could do. It's a mystery. But as you sort of start to identify these properties, Ash, your spell, Detect Evil and Good, starts to seep into the lantern. And you recognize now it is Fey.
Okay.
It is as though it has finally been perceived.
Oh. Well, now I'm getting something.
Does it... wait, Detect Evil and Good detects a Fey creature, doesn't it?
You know, if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead, it well, yeah, it does say creature. Yeah, no, this still works. This still works. You still detect it. It's not exactly not a creature.
Tinkerbell's in there.
But you're getting the whole lantern post, not just the lantern itself.
So,
yeah,
I
creature
think
would apply.
I think we were pretty much right. This thing is Fey.
I reach out with my left arm to take the lantern off the post.
Is that the arm I should be worried about?
Maybe.
I don't remember which one's which.
Yes, it's the left arm.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. You reach out, and are you just grabbing it, or are you trying to pull it out?
I'm trying to pull the lantern off of the hook.
Oh, pick it up off the. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can reach it pretty easily. You hook your thumb under the hook and pull it off the post, and once you've got it like down in front of you at your side, the light shifting reverses order. So it goes orange, red, yellow, stops. Or sorry, it goes, what's the fucking order? Red, orange, yellow. Stops at yellow and goes back, and then starts shifting through the whole spectrum again.
Do I notice anything happening around the lantern? Anything happening to me? If I look around, do I see like another lantern that's popped up somewhere?
In fact, in the distance, between the trees, you see another shifting light, far, far in the distance.
Well, do we follow the lanterns?
I mean, no, I think we should just turn around and leave right now. Like, what do you
I don't feel like we're gonna get anywhere if we don't.
I mean, I kind of want to leave, but yeah,
Oh, honey.
this feels like a trap.
Does that lantern disappear in the distance if I hang this one back up?
It sure does.
I take it back.
It reappears in a different spot,
Oh god.
Ooh.
a little closer.
Yeah, can you keep doing that so we don't have to walk as far?
Oh no, closer?
A little bit, not much.
Is this like a fucked up red light, green light?
I'm actually gonna... You know what? I put the lantern back. I wait 3 seconds, and I take it off again.
So it goes from like over here to over there even further.
So now it's further away.
Further away.
Ooh.
I'll tell you for free that if you hang it up and take it down several times, it'll keep hitting in random directions and distances.
Which actually tells me that it's not taking us any specific place necessarily.
That's not true.
Well,
I like that less.
but the path to get there doesn't matter as much. So, cool. I just take the lantern and I start walking over to the other lantern.
Cool. Damian takes the lantern and walks away. Does anybody else follow?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I can't just let him die.
You guys head off into the forest with the light source, which is good because in the time you were fucking around, it's full dark. It feels like 4 more hours have passed.
Man. Is the lighthouse still going?
Yeah, you see it swing over occasionally.
Okay.
But when it swings over, it's going in normal speed.
I believe I gave Ezra the other lantern from before. The one that we got from the Ebonmane.
Yeah.
Don't use that until we need it. It might actually scare off the things out here that we want to figure out what they are, so just hold on to it.
I got some other things too that I can do.
Okay.
Question. Have any of you ever been to the Feywild?
Heck
No.
Not Preston.
I don't think so.
I don't think Todd would have had the opportunity.
Oh no. No, wait. Do I remember I've been to the Feywild? Backstory.
No.
Okay. No, I haven't been to the Feywild.
Okay.
Damian, redacted.
Cool. So that's yes.
Yeah. Um,
For like a
is the
second.
Feywild now just like, is it like Cabo now?
Yeah.
Where
What
it's
the
just
fuck
kind
is
of like
Cabo
Mostly,
San Lucas?
it's
people just
Cancun.
go on vacation there now?
It's
No.
Mexico City, where
Oh,
like it
okay.
used to have a bunch of locals in it, but now it's just been taken over by white
Yeah.
people.
They
Yeah,
go out there,
Yeah,
hang out,
yeah.
fuck ladrons.
Well,
really cheap real estate in Feywild.
I got timeshare on the Feywild.
it's more akin to Independence, Missouri during the Oregon Trail, which means it was the last
Oh.
big city until you basically got to California.
Ooh, it's
Amatathelion,
Colorado.
Amatathelion is the you guys remember is the major city that sits on the other side of the realm gate, basically in the Feywild. Um, it functions kind of like that like last city before the frontier because most of the Feywild is completely unmapped. Like everybody knows that the two worlds mirror each other, so it's going to be the same continents, but no one has been to those other continents. And people are starting to spread out across the Garrod Eldathos mirror continent, which has a completely different name. Um so yeah, it's kind of wild over there. Like people just go off into the distance to like set up a homestead and never fucking come back.
Hell yeah.
So
I
no,
was
it's
just
not a
wondering if
vacation
like,
place.
Goals.
oh, okay. Because I was
Right.
like, oh, I know a bunch of sex workers. They probably all went there for spring break or something.
No, they probably went to Amatathelion for work because
No.
that's like the trade stop that everybody comes
Mhm.
back to after they set up their homesteads if they survive.
That's true.
That or the village of, I believe it was Barrow, which has gotten a little bit bigger since then, has been rebuilt since it was destroyed. Um, yeah, it's very the Feywild has become the Wild West, which is funny because Christmas came too soon to it to really get that when he was younger. But he's good now. He's got it now. He's like
Okay.
in his element.
Lots of men struggle with that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, so Damian, as you're going through your brief time in the Feywild, whatever it was for, does kind of remind you of what's going on here, but the rules of Atlaran are still at play at the same time. You guys will occasionally run across just some normal animals running around the forest, nothing unexpected, but also occasionally you'll see a root moving, just sort of coiling in the dirt. And then occasionally you'll notice a bird watching you with a little too much intelligence, just like a little robin. And then it'll fly off and everything seems normal, but things are strange here.
I mean, I still have detect good and evil up, so
You don't get a ping off like the animals and plants. It's not that they are fey, it's that something strange is going on here. And as it gets, like I said, full dark, you eventually reach the other lantern, which looks precisely the fucking same. And Damian, go ahead and make me I don't know, make me just a perception check again.
You'd think I'd have my bonus memorized by now.
Yeah.
26.
26. You're holding this lantern, and it's like just sort of at your side, and you look up at this other lantern, and you're suddenly aware you're not holding a lantern anymore. And you look down, and it's gone, and there's only the one.
I take it off.
In the distance, a little light pops on.
Interesting.
This feels like will-o-wisps, but like not useful.
yeah.
Like they're not trying to drown you, they're just trying to annoy you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do
Trying
one
to get us
thing
more lost.
real quick,
Yeah.
Taiylor. I am going to take out a candle
Mm-hmm.
and just get like a teeny tiny little bit of wax and just find a spot on the lantern to just rub like a little bit of wax just to mark it, so that when we reach the next lantern I can see if it's actually the same lantern or if it's like a different lantern.
Okay.
Just for more information.
Easy enough to do.
Yeah.
Also with your perception check, you will notice the mist is getting thicker and it's gotten up to about knee height now.
Oh, I can't see. I'm lost in the mist.
Yeah, no, Todd has disappeared except for the feather in his hat.
I will pick him up and just kind of carry him around like a little football.
I will scramble up your shoulders and perch on top of your
Okay.
head.
All right. That's fine.
Also,
Is-
Ezra, that counter on your character sheet,
Yeah.
you remember the one? Add
Yeah.
5 to it.
Oh my god.
How many do you have now?
Should have 11 or something.
11? Hold on,
Okay.
let me double check. Yeah, 11, I think. Or no, wait.
You should
7.
have...
Or no, wait, not 7. What is 7 plus 6? 13.
13.
13. Cool.
Is there anything, like, does this mist just look like mist, or is there anything weird about it, or how it moves, or how it smells, or
That's a
anything?
good question. It smells normal and it kind of like feels normal, but it is a little blue tinted,
Oh my god.
and it's not like just a trick of the light.
Is it leaving moisture on the ground?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay.
But yeah, you guys head toward the next lantern, and things don't necessarily get weirder. Like you still notice, now that it's nighttime essentially, you don't really see a whole lot of birds flitting around. Most of them are sort of daytime birds, but you do notice along the way there's an owl just perched on a branch watching you guys, just the head slowly turning as you go by. Looks like a...
Do I see this bird?
Yeah.
Firebolt.
Okay.
Fuck owls.
Yeah.
21.
21.
Y'all think you're so mighty.
What's the damage die for that?
2d10.
Go ahead and roll
Oh.
That's so
Who wants
much.
fried chicken?
It's only 7 fire damage.
it. Okay. You guys
Still
you guys
sustainable.
spot this like beautiful snowy owl sitting on a branch, just watching you with like its golden eyes with like the big irises and the head slowly turning, and all of a sudden and just white down falls to the ground, and you don't know where the body is. You don't know if it exists anymore.
Damn.
Okay. Hey, buddy,
Well-
what's up with that?
Todd
It
did
was
Hedwig
creepy.
dirtier than JK did. Holy cow.
There's a lot. There's a lot of creepy stuff out here. We can't just go around like.
Nope, birds
Exploding.
are creepy.
Also, that owl would probably eat a chicken.
Yeah, also
Oh,
predator.
Oh,
And
you're right,
also-
though.
Also, every bird here looks sus as fuck.
You
Hey,
know you're a
Bonekeeper.
bird, right?
I reject your reality.
Okay. You know what? Respect.
That somehow worked so well for like a courtesan. But yeah, you guys reach the next lantern after leaving
Oh.
the owl feathers behind.
Okay,
Um,
nothing happened. It didn't
no.
like.
Not at all. You
Cool.
just killed a fucking beautiful creature of nature.
Well, he had it coming.
Yeah. You get to the next lantern, and Damian, you're ready for it to happen this time, but it doesn't happen until you look away. The lantern disappears out of your hand and ends up back on the post.
Which is weird, because when we get to the post, there's already a lantern there.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. I pick up the lantern again and I check my spot. Is there that little bit of wax
There's
there?
a wax mark on it, yeah.
Interesting.
What what would happen at the next one if you held it in front of you so you can see it, and then grab the other one with the other hand at the same time?
I was gonna try to swap them when we get to the next one.
You want to try to do that?
When we get to the next one, yeah.
Okay.
If we don't murder a fucking like bald eagle along the way.
We don't murder a cat.
Please, bald eagle. I would love that.
They'd be sleeping right now.
There's a random seagull in the woods. Just pat, pat, pat along the ground.
Yeah. That's my next character.
At this point, you guys don't have a great idea of where you are. But you're still following lanterns. You're headed for the next one. You're headed for the next one with a plan. And when you get there, Damian, you have the one lantern up in front of you. So you're keeping it like fully in your vision while you grab the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to grab the other one and then swap them.
Okay. Make me a wisdom save.
Oh, yeah.
I knew this shit was coming. Natural 20!
Okay.
Now I have 2 lanterns.
As you grab
you
the
get
other
2
one,
lanterns and no lantern appears in the distance.
Right.
as you grab them both, the other one comes off the hook just fine, and you hold them in front of you. You've got both of them. And they have twin marks on them from the wax. You're holding 2 of the same lantern. And then you feel like you've got your grip on the loops, and you feel them start to pull together like magnets.
Interesting.
And where the bottoms of them sort of float up to touch each other, they start to merge.
I let them.
Okay, so you let one go. And it's sort of...
The handle pinches his fingers.
It's like in a video game where 2 solid objects just no-clip through each other. There's like no etherealness to these lanterns at all. But even as like the loop passes through your hand to join up with the other one, you don't feel anything. But that is the precise moment that all of you feel more than hear this like crack in the ground beneath you. Like the stone beneath like the dirt under your feet has just split and been pulled apart. You see a fissure go through this little clearing, passing over, or passing through where the post sits, to the point that the post actually falls into the fissure.
Oh my god, it's hell.
Holy shit.
And when it falls into the fissure isn't wide. It's just like a little tiny crack, but as soon as the post falls into it, it disappears. And in the direction that crack went, Damian, you see in the distance not 1 light, but 2 framing a door. There's a stone arch in the woods with 2 braziers next to it that have multicolored flames. And there's a worn wooden door with a symbol slashed into it that you can't make out at this distance.
It's the Traveler.
I just look at the other 3 and then walk towards the door.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I
really
don't like these.
Listen, what else are we doing right now? Our other solution is turn around and go back and be like, well, there's a door.
I think we would have a very difficult time going back at this point.
Yeah, that too.
I think that's going to be the case either way.
So you guys head through the last stretch of trees. At this point, you will also notice you've occasionally seen like shapes in the sky when you've been able to see out of the canopy. At this point, as you're traveling, you do see like a swarm of something pass over. Does not seem to notice you.
How high is it?
Like 100 feet plus.
Oh, awake in the morning and I step outside.
Firebolt.
You're gonna try to firebolt the swarm?
Just one. I just want one. I want it to fall so I know what it is.
Okay. Go ahead. Roll.
It's gonna burst into ash or some shit.
Smoke.
25.
25? Yeah, you don't even need to roll damage.
Okay.
You shoot the firebolt skyward, and you know you hit something, and you just see
Ah, fuck.
and nothing comes down.
Alright, well, that didn't work.
Does anything... Like, do they just keep swarming towards that direction, or does anything
That's what we're about to
stopping?
find out.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
You shoot the little thing out of the sky that looks like a bat, and none of the others seem to really either notice or care.
nobody likes Jerry.
Nobody
awful.
likes
Yeah.
Jerry.
There's a moment where, like, all of us are just like,
Yeah. Todd just did that and like risked your lives, and nothing happens.
Cool. Well, we know they don't care about each other now.
For now.
If I can
They'll
make it
know.
up to the door without anything else happening, I will rap
Is
on
there
it with
another
my
bird?
cane.
No birds.
Ah, balls.
Yeah, you get into this new clearing that the previous ones have been strange. They have been a little too perfectly circular, these clearings around the lanterns. This particular one, the door sort of sits at the back of it. This one looks natural. It's sort of uneven, and there's bits of like broken stone that are sticking up here and there. You can hear the waves very distantly, but you're definitely closer to the coast. And this is the point where the land starts to get a bit more uneven. But the door is sitting there at the on top of a broken slab of stone. The archway itself is a like keystone archway where it's like pieces of stone that are joined at the top with the keystone. Nothing else around it, nothing to support it. It looks like it should fall down, just with the style of its construction. But if you get up to it, to the store, and you knock on it, first, Damian, go ahead and make me a... You can either make me a history, arcana, or religion check for the symbol, on the door.
Okay. You said history, nature, or arcana?
History, religion, or arcana.
History, religion, or arcana. Okay. Well, it's a +2 no matter what. So. It's a 16. Let's call it a history check, because that would make the most sense for him.
Okay. Yeah, sliced into the surface of this door, uneven and not even centered. It looks like somebody just kind of carved it quickly and went. You see an X that crosses over a diamond.
Hold on.
This... I think I know what he's going for.
He's getting Christmas.
He's getting Christmas's journal.
Uh-huh. This sounds vaguely familiar, I just don't know what it is.
Agreed.
Yeah.
From a previous campaign.
I'll let him do his thing before I continue.
That's okay.
What?
Okay, continue. We'll cut most of that out.
What do you think I'm referencing?
I know exactly what this is, because I have all of my stuff from Christmas sitting in
Oh my
a
God.
fucking box behind me. And I know what this symbol is, and I know what it means, and Damian... Oh my god, would he know?
I'm curious which one you think it is, because there's a couple that have X's.
There is one that is an X that goes over a diamond. There is one.
There's two.
How am I not putting this together?
It's because this was a Christmas thing.
This was a Christmas thing.
Well,
There is one
Ding,
very
ding, ding, ding.
specifically that is an X over a diamond. Like, those two images
Okay.
on top of each other is one thing. So I'm curious what the second one is.
I have the picture of your journal, so I'm looking at two that kind of fit that description.
So
But there is one that very specifically fits that description.
Yeah, it is literally a diamond with an X inside of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Can
So you had a 16 history check.
16 history, yeah.
Dame,
Yeah.
I don't know what your adventure to the Feywild was for. But
He probably doesn't either.
probably not. But being a dude who's been involved in like criminal shit for a very long time, you have heard of a group known as the Crows.
Uh-huh.
And you know that they have a system of symbols. You don't know many of them.
I'm a rogue. I know thieves can't.
You know thieves can't.
I
This is
wonder
part
if
of
I
why
would have
you
like started
understand.
putting together what some of these mean.
This is why you kind of understand what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Looking at these and knowing what you know about thieves can't, a lot of organizations have symbolic systems or code systems that they use. The Crows are known as the people that kind of perfected it, but they keep changing theirs constantly, so that you have to be with them or you have to be trusted to get the new ones each time they do an overhaul, because the same symbols do kind of appear. They get warped over time, but there is one that has always been exactly the same, because a lot of people use it outside the Crows, and they use it because everyone should know what is happening. They're like, I don't even wish this on my worst enemies, like, kind of thing. This is a symbol that denotes extreme danger.
Yep. Does
This is the kind of mark that you leave on a place that you don't want, like, even normal people to wander into.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we're not normal people. I don't tell anyone this, and I knock on the door.
Nice. Give a little tap tap. And on the other side of the door, distantly, you hear a voice say, "Yeah, 1 second, I'm coming, I'm coming." And after 30 seconds, the door cracks open, just like a few inches, and a sort of yellowish eye with like a slightly slitted pupil. It's a little wider as it looks out into the dark, surrounded by brown fur, just pokes through and looks out. He's probably a little taller than you, not too much, but just through the like crack in the door, you can't tell who it is you're looking at. But he stares out at all of you. Hello?
Hello.
And it like looks up and he's like, good evening.
Kinda, we think.
Can I
Possibly.
help you?
We're a little lost, and we followed these lanterns to this door.
Fuck right, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. we're kind of lost, but not really lost. Is it alright if we step inside?
I don't know. Who are you?
Oh, Ezra Castille. Pleasure to meet you. By
And
the
the
way, your
eye-
eyes are just like
Yeah, the eye
stunning.
narrows. Make a performance check. I don't know
Oh,
what to call your
performance?
flirting.
Wisdom
What's a
saving
charisma
throw.
check?
Per-
Performance.
Persuasion. Give me persuasion.
Okay.
Because I don't. It's not a lie necessarily. It's just
I'm
a
going to
flirt.
guide myself, so that's going to be.
I mean, flirting is performative by nature.
It is, but I want to lean into the sort of what Ezra's good at.
16.
16.
Yeah.
The eye narrows a little further. Kind of glances off to the side. You get the idea that if whatever this creature is could blush, it might be blushing. And the door cracks open a little more. And you finally know what you're looking at, especially Preston, and probably especially Damian. You're looking at a bugbear. A tall, like long-limbed, barrel-chested person, just covered in fur from head to toe. Dark brown fur around the back and shoulders, and then a little bit lighter in the chest. You see he's got a really extreme like hunch to his back. He's sort of leaned over. You imagine at one point he was probably 8 feet tall, which is tall for a bugbear. But now he's kind of hunched down about a foot. He is draped. He looks kind of like some versions of Igor. He's draped in this like dark, almost olivey green cloak over his shoulders, and you can see these long arms with pretty substantial claws at the ends of his fingers. But he's got like a hand around the edge of the door now, and he's opened it maybe a foot, and he's sort of leaning on the archway looking at all of you. He's so big and fills up so much of the doorway that you can't really see behind him. And he looks over all of you. And Ezra, you're not sure how this is working with the weird timey-wimey shit that's going on. Your detect evil and good is still up. And you get a fey read off this guy. My voice broke. But he like leans out a little bit and looks at you all, looks up at Preston, kind of considers each of you, and then he looks at the chicken. And this big, like, fanged grin opens up. It's not meant to be sinister, but it looks a little sinister. And he's like, alright, so you lost, but you're not, which means you're looking for me.
No, not
Not?
particularly.
Not specifically.
What are you looking for?
So, there's a lot of people dying out here. I don't know if you've heard this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just trying to get to the bottom of it and maybe, come to an agreement where people don't die. So, we were led here. And here
He's
we
a
are.
thing. He's a thing with big black eyes. It's got little white people.
There's also cloth creatures floating around.
No, I know what you're talking about, yeah. You know, you seem like some alright folks. It's not safe out there. Why don't you come inside?
Insight
And he
check.
Insight
opens-
check.
Yeah, both of you can make one.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
12.
So I always have advantage. I rolled a 3. However, I do have a thing that makes it so I technically don't roll lower than a certain number when it comes to
Reliable
certain
talent.
things. Yeah, not reliable talent. It's a
Oh.
ear for deceit. So it's 18.
18. Damian, you get the idea that this guy doesn't know whether or not that's a threat yet.
Okay.
He hasn't decided whether he's going to kill you.
Has he looked at the symbol on the door the whole time that we've been talking to him?
No.
No? Okay.
No. He opens the door up for you, but before he lets you by, Damian, are you still holding the lantern?
Yeah.
He offers a hand out and he says, I will take that if you don't mind.
I will hold it out to him.
And he hooks a claw under it and takes it from you. The moment it leaves your hand, it disappears.
Yeah.
And he sort of straightens his little, like, cloak. You can see underneath as he, like, pulls the door back and sort of straightens up a little bit. He's wearing a sort of dark top, sleeveless tunic, and just simple leggings. He's very Quasimodo-esque. But he opens the way, and you guys see behind him, this like very... Do you guys remember what Hagrid's hut looks like?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see this, like, very homey, but kind of cluttered interior, surrounded by, instead of brick walls, like fieldstone walls. Yes.
Quick question.
Yeah.
First thing upon entering here, does only one person live in this house?
Hold. I'm
Okay.
describing the
Right.
place.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so, like, fieldstone style walls. There's a bunch of tables all over the place that are covered in plants and ingredients. You guys have some of them you've never seen and couldn't fathom what the hell they are. You see, like, a couple sets of mortar and pestles everywhere. You see, like, some of those glass, like, chemistry sets set up. This looks like the home of an alchemist, a brewer, maybe an enchanter. And you see all this like alchemy stuff is kind of in one section by itself. And then you see a side, because the room is round, you see a side where there's this gigantic bed that, to answer your question, Damian, it looks like that could fit 2 people.
Okay.
And there's like a wardrobe sitting against the wall that's half open because there's like a shirt hanging over one of the doors. Then there's a side that has a gigantic hearth with a cauldron sitting in it, and then right above it is like a stone oven that has a door in it that can be like locked in place. And then there's another section that's just a random assortment of shit, like hobbies, like carving tools. There are a bunch of sets of antlers sitting there that look like they're being processed for some use, you're not sure. And like stacks of processed hides and pelts.
Do I see anything about like table settings or like peeking into the wardrobe, like different sizes of clothing, like any other hints that he may not live here alone?
There would be a table in the middle of the room, that has like several chairs that sit around it.
Okay.
You do notice that one of the chairs has like a really poofy cushion on it. You don't see like smaller clothes though.
Okay. But it,
And you don't see another person in here.
like a chair, like the cushion to like raise someone up on the chair.
Kinda, yeah.
Sorry, Hobie is being a menace behind me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I note that, keeping in mind that our other little Fey friend that we're looking for is quite small.
Your other Fey friend.
Yeah, this other weird, pale, young. I always imagine like a really creepy looking Pinocchio based off of your like paper skin description of the beady
that thing's
eyes.
Not small.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
I was
not?
gonna say the like no
Yeah.
mask thing
You
that you're talking
guys,
about.
Oh.
yeah, you guys just saw the neck and head.
Mhm.
Oh, it wasn't small?
No,
Okay, never mind.
sorry, I should have made that clear.
Is it
Anyway,
yeah.
just
you living here?
most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
Come in, I guess. I'll think of good enough chairs for everybody. And
This
He-
place is so cozy. I love the rustic vibe you're going for.
he kind of smiles a little bit, like a little bashful, and he lifts this big meaty claw, and you see there's like an iron candelabra hanging from the ceiling that just lights up. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't see company very often, but I try to keep it comfy. And he's just kind of like scratching his chest as he says that, like kind of like, oh. But do you guys all step in?
Sure.
I don't feel like we have much choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the like mist outside like drift through the door a little bit, and then he shuts the door and it cuts it off completely. And you would see on the back of his door, Damian, given what we've established you know already, on the back side of the door there is a triangular symbol pointing down that has additional lines going through it and an additional smaller triangle at the center.
Okay. With how
Um,
often they change symbols now, he may not necessarily trust
Yeah.
what that is.
But yeah, the way I figured they do it is the symbols are always kind of similar, but they change a lot so that they can tell like who's not like caught up with them in case somebody's faking it, kind of thing.
Right.
But anyway, he does that, and you see him like trace a claw over this like little door handle, and the door handle like clicks upward slightly. You're not sure what that did, but he leaves it, and he comes over to the table and like spreads his hands out, and the chairs slide back from it. He says, "Please have a seat. I can make more." And he goes over to the fire and he starts throwing shit into this pot that he has. You see him like he doesn't have any need for like a knife. He just picks something up and shreds it with his claws, like carrots.
Okay. Does he throw any meat into the pot?
You will see him after he like gets all the vegetables into it. He goes over to like a little larder cupboard and he pulls out a paper package. When he pulls it open, you see this like big slab of meat inside of it.
Is it recognizable?
Make
As meat?
a nature or survival check.
Okay. 21.
This is venison.
Oh, okay.
He like pulls it out. He starts like his claws are wickedly sharp. You guys are realizing he like cleans up his hands from the vegetables, and he just shreds the meat with his claws. No need for a knife, nothing, and he just slices it into the pot. Cleans up his hands again. You see him like he has this weird thing where he washes his hands in like this little basin, and then he prestidigitates them, and so it's like completely defeats the purpose.
Oh my god.
But he finishes doing that. He's like running around. He puts a kettle over the fire. He puts out a little set of like Japanese style teacups. He's got a cute little white porcelain teapot with like the willow blue art on the side. And he like sets that all up, measures out some tea into it and sets it down. He is so excited to have company. So excited.
He's gonna eat all of us.
But as he goes, he's like, "All right, so I don't really see people out here that often, at least not living people. Who are you folks?"
Just concerned citizens. We're just trying to do a favor for Oskory.
Oh, so they sent you my way.
No. They honestly tried to convince us not to do anything. But we're nosy, I guess.
You see his expression kind of fall a little bit. He seems a little sad. He says,
Oh.
"You know, I've been trying for years to like invite the abbess to tea, and she never answers."
What a bitch.
No,
I mean-
I mean, I can't blame her. She doesn't know me. I don't even know
Well,
if most of that town knows I exist anymore, honestly.
What do you mean anymore?
Well, I used to live there a long time ago. And then I don't know, outside Garrel Shell, bugbears aren't really I think people think we're monsters. And so, lots of people were scared of me, especially kids. So I left. I didn't go far, as you can see. Well, I kind of did, but I don't know. I'm originally from the Feywild, but my family moved out to Garrel Shell, and then I left because I'm not a big fan of jungle. But here I am.
We need to know if you've seen something out here.
I've seen a lot of things out here.
Todd, can you show him?
Show him what?
The creature out here. The pale, beady-eyed.
I think we figured out that we can only talk to each other. We can't like make. I can't
Your
send images.
your basic telepathy doesn't send images.
Okay. Be like, no, I can't. No.
Also, how many people can you send mind
One.
messages to it? Oh, okay. So
I can only talk
he's
to
just
one
like,
person at a
Todd,
time.
Okay.
Todd, do this, and you're just sitting there like,
Yep.
Okay,
Just
never
chicken.
mind. He can't do it.
Yep.
I'll try to
And-
describe what this thing looks like, though, to the bugbear.
Yeah, the
Is there any
bugbear
chalk
seems.
anywhere?
Do you ask for some?
No, I just want to know if there's chalk somewhere.
Not that you can see.
Is there like a pen, a pencil?
The nearest thing you'd probably see is a piece of charcoal and some parchment near his alchemy supplies.
Cool. I'm gonna mage hand a piece of charcoal, and I'm just gonna start drawing it on the floor.
Cool. Yeah, he sort of like looms over you. You get very like, oh god, there's a predator behind me tingles when he does this, but he's just watching you draw.
The
Any
question is,
chances-
am I into it?
That's up to you, buddy.
I know.
He like leans over and he's watching.
This
He's
week's
like,
episode of Beastars.
roll for horny.
he says, oh yeah, no, I've seen that thing. Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay.
No, I'll never stick around long enough to find out, because people who do, I'll find them later.
What about the little flying creatures?
Oh yeah, the little bat fucks. Yeah.
Do
Yep.
you know what those are?
No, they're not from here though.
Where are they?
I don't fucking know.
I
Listen,
used the
I'm-
chalk to
I'm-
write Shadowfell
Yeah.
on the floor.
We've established they're from the ship.
Yeah,
that's-
most
yeah.
likely already.
Yeah, well, when you show him that, he's like, yeah, probably.
This
Makes sense.
this other creature here. Does it have a lair or its own home nearby?
It's so this thing, whatever it is, it. I don't know if there's necessarily a lair. There is an area that I tend to find dead people around more.
Mhm.
The strange thing is this thing doesn't eat people. I don't
Why is
quite
that
get what it's up
strange?
to. Because normally when people die in the woods, it's because something wanted to eat them. So at least, you find a little less than a person. You find like some of a person or something. Yeah, no, this thing just fucking kills people.
Look, the sport.
Oh.
I guess.
Are they ever missing anything?
I would no.
Their lives.
I always find them. They got all their valuables. They got all their digits. They got all their organs, as far as I could tell, anyway. I did an autopsy a couple times, regretted it horribly. Seemed whole to me. See,
You
look,
know,
by the way, Ezra, add 10 to your counter.
10?
Yes.
Oh my god!
And I say that because he says something that I think should catch your attention. He says, it's kind of my job to look after the dead things out here. Except, lately there's been a lot more dead things. So yeah. It's kind of disgusting, honestly.
Why is it your job to look after the dead thing?
Who else is gonna do it? Somebody's got to be a bonekeeper around here.
Is that an official title?
Yeah. You don't have those here?
Who gave that to you?
And you see him get a little, like not sure when you ask that question. And he says, I don't know. What's it matter to you?
I'm just wondering. I mean, is it something that you just decided you were
No.
doing?
I mean, it is kind of a fairly question. Usually titles are given by someone. I don't know a ton about the Feywild, but I know some big names like Titania, that kind of thing. So,
You see him, like, grimace at that name.
yeah, that kind of seems to be a lot of people's reaction to her.
Yeah. Sealy Court's a bunch of fucks.
I think I will just kind of like shift in my seat a little bit, like strategically, so that
Strategically
the
to be
bell.
sexy?
No, so that the bell kind of
Okay.
flops out of my shirt, so it's
Yeah.
pretty like well, yeah.
God, still smoking.
So you let him
Yep,
see the
constantly.
bell.
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Ooh. And I'm gonna guide myself.
Todd is using the charcoal to draw more chickens on the ground.
Cool. Love it.
When I get advantage and I use guidance on myself, do I also get advantage on the guidance?
No,
Damn it. Alright, well.
that's not how any of that works.
Worth a try. Okay, I gotta do math. 24.
They invented timeshares. Yeah. You sort of like reveal the bell, not that it's ever really hidden. But he looks at it and gets like a weird like scrunch to his face, like he's not really sure what you're getting at, but he gets the idea that you know something. And he says, well, so Bonekeeper is kind of a Fae thing, yeah, I guess. I thought it would have spread across Atlaran by now, but basically, so you all know of the Fae courts, right?
Vaguely.
Sure.
There's a lot more than just the Sealy and the Unsealy, or the Gloaming Court, as they're actually supposed to be called. There's a lot of us. Just a lot of us are smaller. And, Bonekeeper is a title given by the court that I used to be part of. It's, basically, they train you to take care of the dead.
What court was that?
I have my list. Hold on. I gotta remember their name. So, being a bugbear, you guys do know of a set of courts that are like the most powerful in the Feywild. There's a lot more than the Sealy and Unsealy. And a bugbear would normally strike you as being part of the Goblin Court. But they're very like warlike court. They don't necessarily fight with the other ones that much. They just kind of fight whatever they want. But this bugbear, he says, I'm actually from the Court of Petals.
Oh.
And I'm not really the normal person you'd find in the Court of Petals, and it's not the only court that has Bonekeepers, but it's kind of where we started. It's sort of like keeping a cemetery, keeping a graveyard is kind of like keeping a garden. In fact, you can keep a garden on top of it if you really want to, and it makes for some wonderful tea.
Okay, what do you say?
And he says, I kind of do the job that no one else wants to do, or no one else is strong enough to do. Look after the bodies of people who've died. But in the last, like, I don't know, 20 years or so, it's been a lot more work. Every day I go out and sort of comb through the woodlands and I find more dead people, it feels like.
These, bodies that you're coming across, you said you did an autopsy.
I did a couple times, yeah.
Did you determine a cause of death?
Most of them that I find out here in, like, the forest proper, usually either looks like they were strangled to death or something gave out. I've only been able to really tell a couple of times that, like, maybe a heart failure, but I don't know, it always seems to be just there's not a lot of damage.
Do any of them share, like, any common characteristics? Like, is there one...
Lost in the woods.
Okay. Nothing
Now,
physically or anything like that?
not
they
that
all
I
share?
can tell, though it's disturbing how often I recognize faces from town. I do go into town sometimes, just not like this. I don't want people to scream. But these people, the fact that there are bodies tells me it's not those things that are flying over. Because normally when people die at night because of those things, they're gone. You can't find them. I found a couple, or at least parts of them, but
We think it might be that thing, and I'll point at Todd's scribble of the pale paper face thing.
yeah, it's now surrounded by chickens.
Yeah, there's several chickens like tap dancing on top of it, on top of its head and stuff. Or
And-
like some of them are casting fireball, like
Yeah.
there's little wands and things. Yeah.
He looks down at this and he says, "So I'm pretty sure that I know what you're getting at." And he walks over to his, like, little alchemy station. He pulls out a chest from underneath the table. He flips it open and he turns and he shows you a mask that he has in his hand that looks, Todd, precisely like the face of the thing you saw, except there's no, like, there's like the slits where the eyes and mouth should be, but you could tell that creature's face was flesh. This is wood. It's like, does it look like this?
Yeah. Yep, that's it. That's the mask.
And he looks at Todd. He's like, "Oh, this chicken talks. Neat."
Oh yeah, this is the first time I've talked to him. Yep, I can talk. I can talk.
And he does not seem surprised at all by the fact you can talk. And he brings the mask over and sets it on the table. He's like, "Yeah, I found that one day out in the woods. It's not magical. I don't know what's up with it, but I wonder if the two of them are connected."
Todd goes over and pushes his face into the mask to see if it fits.
You flip it and stick your face into it?
Yeah.
Make me a wisdom save.
Oh
Yes.
no!
This is what I was hoping for. I've seen Inuyasha. I know how this
Somebody stop
works.
me!
7.
7. You
Fuck.
bonk your head on the back of the mask.
Oh, my Marie.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's it.
Fuck.
Nothing.
Man, I really wanted to get possessed today.
I am going to relieve Todd of the mask.
Yeah, you just pick the chicken up off the mask.
I do want to take a look at the inside of the mask. Do I see any markings in there? Does this look like it was
Yes.
hand carved or magic carved?
It looks the perfection makes you think magic or somebody with a really good grinding tool.
A grinding tool that probably doesn't exist in this
Yeah.
day and age.
Well, no, it
It's a
probably
magical
does. Things like the earliest version of it, like a Dremel tool or a sanding belt, do exist. They have to make like the pieces for all the shit they create. There's machines out there now.
Yeah.
They're on their way to automobiles. The first Model A is a couple years away.
We need to end the world.
Yes, we do. But yeah, on the inside of the mask, however, it is completely painted black. And in the center, like right between the eyes, there is a sort of like backwards S squiggle with like a pointed tail at the bottom, and then a little circle above it. A dot, rather. It is in red paint.
Can we have this?
I guess. I don't say why not.
Thank you. I put it in my pack.
Did that symbol look familiar?
Make a history or religion check.
Okay.
I guess to be in character, I probably should do that too.
Yeah, you should.
Natural 20.
18.
Or 20. Because I have a 0 in both history and religion.
So Damian, you recognize a distinctly Fey symbol on the inside of the mask.
Not surprising.
It seems that this bugbear is not the only Fey thing going on out here, if that wasn't clear.
Yeah.
This is a symbol of the Court of Craft.
I'm gonna. I will probably say Damian's knowledge of the Feywild itself is probably very forced on him. He's not.
It is.
It's
it
that
is
place
limited.
is way too magic for his liking.
Your knowledge of the Fae is limited, but you know the most important basics. Todd, with your natural 20, you know fucking Deza of Glenaean. You know a bunch of crazy shit about the Feywild. None of the Fae courts really interest Deza that much, except for she doesn't like Oberon, but she likes his sort of thing because he's the king of beasts, and she's like, gosh, I wish I could be the queen of beasts. Not because he's hot, but because she wants the animals.
I want to date Oberon.
She has also always been interested in the Court of Petals, because of the the planty aspect of it. And then the Court of Craft has an interesting little sort of corner in the Feywild. It's one of the smallest courts, one of the least interested in political showboating. And their leader, who you know would be the Archfey Dana of Calhallow, she is one of many patrons of craftsfolk in the Feywild. Every major artisan group has a patron within the Court of Craft. This particular symbol would be the... Hold on one second, I have to grab their names from the list. You would know that this is the symbol of a knight of the Court of Craft. His name is Sir Braith. Or sorry, her name is Sir Braith.
Braith, like with a B?
Yeah. Like the word braid, but with a TH at the end.
Okay.
I
share that with everybody.
Yeah, Sir Braith is sort of the matron of woodworking, whittling, that kind of thing.
So it's possible, maybe, that something... No, that's too big of a leap.
So we're like some evil wood carver is killing people.
Well, chisels are sharp.
I don't think we have enough information to necessarily say what exactly this is. But we do know that it doesn't belong here.
I'm so sorry. We never got your name.
I never got any of yours either.
On Preston?
Preston,
Oh,
you
I
the same
introduced
accent as me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Preston. Don't give
What?
fey creatures your name. Just tell them what it is.
You know, normally I would tell you that it's okay that I'm not one of those, but actually that's good advice, yeah.
It's fake.
Oh, well. I already gave you my name earlier.
Yeah,
so-
Ezra.
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2. Okay, so that's 2 of you. How about you, sir? And he looks at Damian.
I won't give you my name, but I will tell you what it is.
And he actually starts, like, laughing. And he's like, yes, will you tell me your name and you may keep it?
My name is Damian Castille.
Mhm.
Ezra is my brother.
And
Regrettably.
then he looks at Todd.
I'm a chicken.
There you are.
That's Todd.
Oh, I was
Uh,
going to just say Sal, but, you know. Sure.
Ezra and Preston, make me an insight check.
He took your names. You now belong to him.
He also didn't ask Ezra to have his name. He just said, "What is your name?" earlier, so...
13.
Ezra
No,
might
he
have...
asked, who are you?
Earlier, yes,
Right.
when you said
Yes.
your name. And then just now you
Yeah.
said, "I gave you my name," so... Oops.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I said that.
You
I-
did.
You did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yep.
10. Oh my god. Did I just fuck up?
Okay. That's it. That's all I wanted. I messaged these guys with the whole
okay.
thing.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he nods all around and he's like, well, most people call me Vudan. I'll put that in chat for you guys.
Nice people?
Most
Most.
people.
Oh, I thought
Actually,
you
yeah,
said nice.
people too. Mean people call him Beast.
A
No.
beast of the woods.
But yeah,
I love that
says,
mushroom.
Boudin.
V-Dan, I had a couple questions.
Uh-huh.
So, how long have you been living near Oskory, or in?
I have lived in this particular place about 30 years. Lived in Oskory for about a year before that.
Right. So you knew about the Earthblood fountain
Oh yeah.
that popped
Mhm.
up? That seems to kind of be like when all the weird stuff started going on.
Yeah.
Have you been from the phone?
Oh.
Um,
Uh-oh.
Go,
Break
hold
it.
on. Stop.
Hold on. Pause.
Go back. Start that line again.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. Being from the Feywild,
Mhm.
have you ever seen a creature that kind of looks like that mask before?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I said I have.
What kind of creature is that?
I've got
What
a few
person?
theories, and one of them is fucking horrifying.
It's probably that
Probably that
one.
one.
Then. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's this. I don't know how they come about. I don't know where they're from. I don't know how they get here. There are these weird things. Did you guys notice the fog outside?
Yeah, kind of blue.
Yeah.
Couldn't see.
If it ever gets above like not for you, Todd, but if it ever gets above like say Damian's waist level, you should probably run. Because that means it's around. Um,
Oh my god, I know what this is.
far as I can tell, it's this like
Yes.
it's got a bunch of heads. And they're
Yeah.
like really
Ash.
fucking scary.
Oh no!
Uh-huh.
Like I don't know what it's
Not again!
called, but it makes weird illusions if you stick around too long.
Uh-huh.
And
Do they look like kobolds?
not
They
this
opened it
particular one.
again.
Kobolds in little
Uh,
suits?
He says, like one time my mum appeared in the woods, which is weird because she's super dead. So like if you see people that shouldn't be here, or one of your friends is acting a little strange, you run.
Right,
Cool.
that's terrifying. The symbol on the door when we walked up to it had like a diamond with an X.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
Danger.
All right. What about that one on the inside?
Protected.
So why does it have danger on the outside? Is that just to kind of like scare people off? Because you seem like a nice guy.
You know,
It's
And you
because,
see
and he
him-
just rips off his skin and turns in this giant
He's
Hydra creature.
Yeah.
Yep.
he pauses when you ask that question. He says, I might have run afoul of a couple people that I shouldn't have a while ago.
Like what?
I don't, I feel like you're about to be very scared of me.
Voodoo. Come on.
I'm into it.
We're
What?
friends.
I'm into it. Go for it. Tell us. Make us
says-
scared.
So I've always had this place. Most of my life. It was my grandma's. She gave it to me. Sort of my own little pocket.
Oh, shit.
But when I was like 20 and still living in the Feywilds, I kind of got cursed. And sometimes that curse makes me do really bad things.
Damian's hand is like vice gripping the top of his cane right now.
And he says that, and he's like, but it only happens at certain times of the month.
Sorry.
I have that problem too, don't know.
Yeah, I was
Um,
just about to make that joke, but I was like, nope, don't do that.
Yeah.
Kind of like lycanthropy.
And he kind of looks at you.
Probably exactly like lycanthropy.
But that's okay. That's okay. It's
Some of my best friends are werewolves. Don't worry about it.
what?
I'm
I
just
look at
saying it
him-
happens.
I look at him with all the seriousness in the world, and I go, "Can you bite me?
No,
What? I want to be a were-chicken."
that's not how it works.
Also, they,
I mean, that is
They're kinda-
technically how it works, but no.
that kind of feels belittling and derogatory.
Me?
Yeah,
You
just
can't hear
asking
me.
him if he can. Just
I've
asking.
just
Oh yeah.
fucking
Can't hear me, I'm
assumed
talking
that
to
the party,
I know.
because you're familiar with Todd, you can hear him. I
Okay.
don't know.
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I mean
not-
Mm.
to him.
Oh, what werewolf sounds super cool. I want to be just like him. You are now my idol.
It's not good. It's not good, chicken. It's not good.
You don't have any control over what you do.
But it's like, the early part of the month, so like that's not going to happen for a while. See you safe. Don't worry.
Fine.
What?
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, when
You know.
so the thing with the door is when it gets to the end of the month, I flip it around so the danger side's out. I forgot to flip it back, my bad. And he reaches out with a
Insight
hand.
check.
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead. He reaches out with a hand and he turns his palm and the door flips in the
A
archway.
28 insight.
9.
It is a lie, but it's not a malicious one. You get the idea he was trying to keep people away.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I
Oh,
initially
okay.
thought when he was all like, "Oi, what's up, guys? I'm cool and shit." I was like, he put that there, and it's to keep people away. Okay, so it's not malicious. That's good.
He's one last thing that I kind of want to ask about. You know those dragon mosaics in town? Do you happen to understand how those might work?
We can't hear you.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
can't
hear
hear
you.
you.
Sorry, I hit my mute button. Yeah, he says, vaguely, kinda, a little.
Right, because the Abbey is no clue how they work.
Oh, well, I mean, no, they don't know. Well, I know what they do, and I've got a little kind of inkling, maybe what it was inspired by, but no, I couldn't tell you how to actually, like, I couldn't recreate the enchantment for you, no.
Do you know how to activate it?
Yeah, you need to be at the control circle, and then you can look out of any of the other ones. Or you can set up these sort of you can create kind of a no-fly zone around the mosaic. So if something goes in there that's not supposed to be there, it just gone. If it's small enough. If it's big, you're fucked.
Right, well, that kind of sounds like a lot of what they already know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I should hope they know, because they're the people that use it, but no, they normally, I've found when I lived there, the Order of Ebonmane keeps much better records of things, but they've got no fucking clue what they're doing with those things. Like, they know how to kind of use them, but I'll bet you anything, if I had like a week with those things, I could figure out what they really do. And why the, like, theme is there. Because it's always seemed a little strange to me that, you know, there's, I assume the control circle is the black dragon circle, but it's always been interesting to me that there's all 10 chromatic and metallic dragons.
We've set up pretty good relationships with the Order of the Ebonmane and the Abbess there. If you help us take on this creature that's terrorizing the woods, the one that looks like this, and he'll just pull out the mask for a second again, we could see about getting you that week, at least, to look at those yourself.
I don't think they would allow that. Like, it'd be super interesting, but I don't know if I want to take that risk.
Well, it might help them protect against the flying smoky things.
That is true.
And so, yeah, that's probably why they would be interested in your help. Also, I mean, I can't really promise anything, but if you don't like having lycanthropy, they might know someone who could help.
That is true.
Todd is still sketching on the ground, and he's making a chicken with like big teeth, and, like scary claws and stuff.
But
And there's a little moon that he's clucking at.
Vudan, he like keeps looking down at Todd and like chuckling every so often.
When
And-
is the next full moon, out of curiosity?
It happens at the end of the month. It is
Okay.
currently the 8th, I believe, of Frostco.
Mhm.
Oh.
Is it?
I believe so.
Yes.
I have that it was earlier than that. How many nights have we spent here? I thought we only had spent one night in town.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No, the first night was Rosgar the 5th.
Yeah, Rosgar 5th.
Yeah.
That was the very first episode we did. I wrote it down.
So it's the 6th.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we're good.
It has literally been like 2 days.
Yeah. Been a busy
Very
fucking
fair.
2 days.
This is session
But yeah,
8.
I do also, in the middle of this, because I noticed that I got more added to my tally, I now have 23 on my tally. Do I feel anything else except for, like what? Describe,
So-
how do I feel?
When I add to your tally, it is. Ezra doesn't always notice it immediately, but you have slowly become more and more aware of the feeling of something around you, or maybe many things. And when you entered this place and I said add 10, you suddenly felt that like presence around you get, almost double. It's like it's not a weight on you because there's nothing there, but it does feel like something sort of resting on your shoulders.
Okay. Well, should we be getting out of your hair then?
I don't know, I love friends.
Are you gonna help us?
Well, that's... You
True
know,
friends would nibble on their other friends. Just saying.
that is not at all true ever.
That's
Uh,
so crispy.
That's
In
why we're
my
not
line of
friends,
work-
Todd.
In my line of work, that's actually shockingly common.
And like, Udan looks at you, Ezra, he's like, in your line of work,
Mm.
everything makes so much more sense now.
Doesn't it? I get that a lot,
Yeah.
actually.
It does help too that on the back of their coat it just says whore.
Yeah.
On the back of Ezra's
No,
pants, it
that's
says
on-
juicy.
God.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
a
right on my
varsity
butt.
jacket. It says
Yeah.
01 and it just says whore on the back.
No,
That's-
it's on my butt, like on my
Oh
pants.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Enter
In
here.
Victoria's Secret font.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's in Elvish, so most people, when they look
Yeah,
at it, are like,
don't
"Oh,
know what it looks like."
It's,
Yeah.
it's just calligraphy."
What's a
Yeah.
whore?
Yeah, anyway. He looks over all of you, and at this point he's like brought out the tea and everything for you. He says, well, I do feel bad for all the folks that have been dying, and especially the folks left behind. I mean, if I can be of use, I'll be happy to help. Also make my life a little easier, as a bonekeeper. A few less bones to keep. It was a bad
Well,
joke,
I-
I'm sorry.
I have a proposal. If we could maybe spend the
married.
night here. Oh, okay.
So
well,
what? Or who?
So what?
The
Are they a
boys!
werewolf?
Todd is already jealous.
Yeah.
And
I'm just mad he won't bite me.
Budan looks at Todd and he's like, excuse me, they are very lovely, and you
I'm
will
sure.
speak kindly about them.
Are they also a werewolf?
No.
You haven't bitten
werewolves
them
are
once.
married to werewolves.
Also, Todd, there's a lot of different kinds of lycanthropy. It's not all just wolves. There's like sharks and there's like tigers and weasels and
Every
stuff.
kind of furry under the sun. There's
Okay,
a
but-
rare
Wouldn't that-
version.
Can
That
I
wouldn't
get
be
bitten by all of
lycanthropy.
them?
No.
Yeah,
That wouldn't be
lycanthropy
lycanthropy.
is
Lichen.
werewolves.
Well,
Yeah.
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 So
It
it'd be
gets
another
generalized.
kind of trophy.
Well,
It gets generalized as lycanthropy in D&D
Yeah.
mechanics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like there's like the berserkers, which are werebears.
Oh, yeah.
There,
Um,
bear.
That's still technically lycanthropy. Yeah.
So
Oh,
what if they all bit me, and then I became a wereshark
You'd probably
weasel
just die.
wolf? Just turn into all of them at the same time.
Where
So you want to be
Turn into an
Nimona.
eldritch horror.
You would become like I think it's their name's Akira.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty much.
yes, I love it.
Canada!
No, darling, I listen, I don't even know how I feel about marriage, so it's not that kind of proposal.
It's not.
Yeah.
Well, it was.
Condolences.
Jesus,
No,
H. Christ,
no,
there's so
that's
many
not-
layers to this.
It's not over. It's just
Oh,
Are they dead?
no.
Did they leak?
I
He did say he was a bonekeeper. I wasn't sure if it was just his
Oh.
bone or other people's bones, or
I had to make them leave because it wasn't safe.
oh, sweetie.
oh, you smell like a main character.
What? What?
I had to make them leave. It's dangerous.
Listen.
JRPG.
I will send you the names of some people that I know who are werewolves and who live very fulfilling lives. You can be little pen pals. and they
You're
can tell
really
you how
like
to make
holding
it
on to
work.
this. Like, yes, I know werewolves.
How many
Yeah,
werewolves
well,
do you
I don't
know?
I figured, like, you know.
Enough.
Yeah, sure. I'm so down that some of the
Yeah.
people at La Compagnie de Fleur
Yeah.
are werewolves.
That's
I'm
just
assuming there's
That's
just like
a
muzzles
whole
involved.
layer of lore.
But
That's
no,
the
I was
sub-basement
just,
level.
Ah,
yeah.
Gotta crate
No,
'em
I was
when you
just going to
leave.
suggest maybe if we could just spend the night here and recharge a little bit, and then we'll be on our way in the morning.
With you
I
helping
mean-
us.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, it is kind of the safest place in the woods, so.
Does this thing come out during the day, or does it seem to mostly hunt at night?
It comes out with the mist.
That didn't answer my question.
It
It's
could be
'cause
misty
you-
during the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, most of the time it appears in, like, the morning or evening, like, when the temperature changes a lot.
easy
But
miss time.
So, everyone go to
Clock
bed.
time.
We're getting up early in the morning, it sounds like.
And
I
he,
cast
like...
friends on him,
Oh, okay.
or I cast friends on myself.
Yeah.
I think, are you sure you can't bite me? Like, just as a favor. I'm original recipe. It's gonna be good.
This is how Todd dies. This bugbear is going to be
Yeah.
like, actually, he tastes pretty good.
Just a little nibble. That's all I'm asking. A nibble
You're just
between
a little-
friends.
You're a little chicken nugget in comparison
Uh-huh.
to him.
Does
Look
so
at me, I'm such a dainty chicken nugget.
lycanthropy in Atlaran, do you have to be transformed when you bite in order for it to go, or can it be anytime?
You don't know.
Yeah, I
Do you
actually
know?
don't know.
I don't know.
Do I know? Because I know
This was
werewolves?
I'll let Ezra.
this
like,
was
history
Zack
roll
asking
that.
Taiylor. This wasn't Damian asking the gods.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you if your character doesn't know.
That's fair.
Guidance. 12.
12?
Yeah.
You're not positive, but it would make sense that you need to be transformed.
What if I
It
just cut
makes
myself
sense.
and you spit on it?
That is an
It's
interesting
getting me
kink.
into some pinkier territory
Yeah.
that I'm willing to
Yeah.
explore.
And he's just shaking his head the whole way. I will let you make a persuasion roll since you did a spell about it.
Yes.
At disadvantage.
Oh, but I have advantage because
So
of
it
that. So I'll
cancels
just
it
single
out.
roll.
It
Single
cancels it
roll.
out,
Persuasion?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
False. 15.
15. For like a moment, he's like, well, no. Absolutely not.
I'll be back.
I'll be Buck.
I'll be balk.
I'll be Bakak.
I'll be.
But he stands up, this big towering bugbear, and Udan goes around and he like goes to his little wardrobe. That when he opens it up, because you asked earlier, Damian, I love just going with this little thread. You do see inside there are some very small clothes in there, like smaller than a halfling.
Oh my god.
And he like shoves those aside and he pulls out like some extra blankets that he has, and he kind of looks around, realizes he doesn't have enough air mattresses for everybody, and he just starts like laying down piles of bedding.
Those clothes look like they haven't been worn in a very long time, don't they?
No, they look like they've been recently, like at least recently washed.
Really interesting. Okay.
I really hope his wife, boyfriend, whatever person is not like a goblin and a bottom. That sounds awful. Just look like one of those, you know, those little.
It's
little
actually
stretch
the
things
other
where
way
their eyes
around.
bug out when you squeeze them, because
Like
that's
that.
exactly what that's.
The
A
way
goblin
he's
on a top.
spoken-
They have a step stool.
The way
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
spoken, you're not sure if the they was a non-binary partner or a they was multiple partners. So
Oh, well,
3 goblins in a trench coat.
uh-huh.
that would be about the right size to handle a bugbear.
Every time they fuck, one of them dies.
Yeah, they gotta
Aw.
replace them.
No.
But yeah,
No.
he lays out what he's got, and he even like brings out like some cloaks that he has, and he's like, you guys have got bed rolls, and I feel like this is enough for everyone. So yeah, pick a spot, pass out. Dinner will be ready soon.
Hey, sleepover.
I'm staying up.
Yeah.
I will find the
this-
highest shelf to perch on.
Doable. You kind of treat it like cat furniture, where you just travel the shelves till you get to
Yep.
where you're gonna go. The
On top of the
highest,
fridge.
well, the highest spot that you can get to is like way up above the hearth and above the oven. There is a mantle that sits, like several layers of shelving that sits there with a mantle. If you sit off to the side of one of the shelves, because he like keeps his spices and stuff up here, you're in like a really cozy, warm little cubby.
Are there open rafters?
There are a couple like cross beams, yeah.
Perfect. Mage hand.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Just take myself up there.
Yep, you perch like
What?
right above the candelabra.
Uh-huh. I'm a
yeah.
weather vane again.
He's making that big like stew for you guys. And you can see he's made so much that there will probably still be some for breakfast. But yeah, he sets you guys up. He's a very friendly and inviting host. He like checks in with all of you and makes sure y'all got enough blankets and y'all got pillows. He even does at one point, when he realizes Todd isn't like around on the floor anymore, he reaches up, grabs the rafter, and pulls himself up, and he's like right in front of you, Todd, just like all like the big tusks and everything.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you got everything you need, buddy?
I just hold out my foot. One nibble. That's all I'm asking.
No.
I just stick my foot directly on his face, so it's like
The leg meat is the best meat.
Not the foot
so
meat,
juicy.
though.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
And he like, your foot's just like right here, and he's like, you know, if I actually did that, you'd die.
Worth it.
And he lowers your foot just between two fingers back to the rafter. And he drops back down. But yeah, he sets you guys up for the night, and you may all take a long rest except for Damian.
Who takes a short
A
rest
long
instead?
rest.
Preston is going to ask if he has like a privy, like any sort of like bathroom.
A water closet?
In his case, he has an outhouse. So what he shows you is there's another door in this hut, and
Oh,
it's much smaller than the other one. And he opens it for you, and you're not looking at the Lanahasee Copse. You're looking at a little back garden that looks like it's in the center of the fucking Feywild. There's like rows of like carrots and potatoes and cabbages and herbs, and it's all ringed in by forest, and like a little bitty fence. And at the far, far end of the garden, there's an outhouse with a cute little heart carved into the door.
You have a bathhouse out here too?
A bathhouse?
Yeah, like a spot where you
And
can just like clean up.
he points you to one of the corners of the garden where there is this like little pool that at first you think is just a pond, but you notice that there's a flow to it. It looks like it's a spring.
You got kind of a nice setup out here.
Yeah, my grand did a real good job with this place.
Seems like it. Everything's safe out here. You never seen anything.
Yeah, no,
fishy?
we're not in Atlaran.
It's kind of what I'm concerned about.
No, this is perfectly safe. This is a pocket of the Feywild. I don't remember which part, but yeah, no, nothing can get in here unless they come in through my front door.
Excellent. All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Feel free to pick a snack if you see anything you like. And he goes back inside. He leaves the back door cracked open for you.
And Preston will come back after a little bit.
Yeah. It truly is like a less dingy Hagrid's hut, like garden included. Like, it's so cute and quaint, and like you get the idea that Vudan's grandma was she was a homesteader, she was very self-sufficient, and like the garden is so perfect, like not in the like perfect rows or perfect uniformity way. It's like the plants are all doing so well, and like the soil is super rich, and you can see that he's done the hose trick where he's taken like a long strand of hose and poked holes in it so that he can just water the whole garden without having to walk through it. But yeah, it's lovely. It's very cottagecore. But yeah, you all chill out inside, and okay, cool. And you all settle in for whatever is left of the night. You have no fucking idea. In Vudan's little hut.
Yay!
And that is where we will end for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. You can watch episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and other podcast platforms every other Saturday, now that we have a schedule. And yeah, I mean, we've got stuff on backlog, so there's no schedule interruptions coming up, so enjoy that. Woo! But thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
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 Bye. Why?
Bye. Bye.
Oh,
I've heard that joke before. Goodbye.